Okay, new day. It looks nice out, but it's cold. We got our Carhartt hat on, don't we? Okay, so what we did is, if you remember from the inside, we did the inside and outside collar. And we decided we need a 24-inch pipe. But prior to buying that, I decided to put as much stuff together here as I can to confirm our parts list. So, let me show you this here. So, what we were originally going to do is put this bracket up on the wall and this coming out. But we have, you want to look up here, approximately a 6-inch overhang. And it's the same on the back. So, I wanted to allow enough pipe to be able to clear that. So what we did is we drilled another hole and we mounted this the opposite direction so this would go against the wall. And then we bolted this and tightened this up. We take our bottom clean out and that would go in here like so. You can bring this pipe down. I don't see the sense in that because it's just a waste of money and we can reach it, you know. You can bring it down 6 inches, a foot, whatever you want to do. I don't see the reason we can get right to it. So then this part goes in here like this. That's a defect, I think. I think what they should have done is done a double lip so that this one gets screwed in also. And so what we have to do is we take this part, and this is up, so this is through the wall, so this is the down, so this goes in here, so we lock this in and turn this on. Then this goes down in our pipe like that. You turn this exactly square. The defect, like I said, is this mounts on top of here and it's just a weight that holds it there. Probably okay, but to me, I think what I'm going to want to do is drill and put like 1, 2, 3 zip screws in it, and that'll hold the chimney down and to this bracket. And then what we're going to do is we're going to put our 2-foot pipe into this one and put our locking band on. So this is what I wanted to do, is get a material list. We're going to have a locking band locking the 2-foot pipe. We know that the distance to the building is from where this connection is to there. Okay, so it's approximately 7.5 inches. Now, the reason I like that is I think it's going to work out great by using our band. Let me grab that. So this band would go on like this around the pipe, and it'd be up in, I don't know, up here a little ways, and we're going to hook it to the fascia, which is a rake. And so I think the distance is going to work out pretty good with that. And then we've got our locking band here, locking band here. We're going to put 2 3-foot sections of pipe on here. And we don't need to talk about that much now, but right there's our cap, and the cap's going to go on. And so I'm going to count the parts that I need and make sure we get the right list. I want to take this out back, set it up against the wall, and confirm that our numbers are going to jive as far as the overhang and no clearance problem. So this, remember, this collar just sits in there, and I don't like it because your chimney, you know, maybe a tree branch falls, slides down the roof and taps the chimney. I don't want it to fall out of there. So I drilled and I put in some zip screws, and they come from the outside edge. So this top is locked. Now if we take our T, place it on there, put it in the right position here. See how that locks nice? Now I can go out there and try it, and it should not fall apart if I lock it all the way. Like that. And then I can take it out there. Now I can get an exact dimension from there to there to find out if our collar piece will work. And so what I want to do is I'll go ahead and start one of these bolts, and that'll hold this collar still. We'll go out and measure that, and then these are 16 inches on center from here to here. And remember, we drilled in the center of the studs out there, inside there. So when I attach this, our sheathing is 1.5 inches, and we got a 2x4 stud. So if I had about a 3 or 4 inch lag bolt, maybe even a GRK, I can put 4 of them to hold this chimney up. This would mount, you know, like that. We can go measure this now. Okay, we measured that. That looks like the numbers are going to work out great. So now what we got to do is, I just threw a coat of paint on this old elbow I had. This is one of the real heavy ones. You can't bend that. It's a heavy one. And then I got some black stovepipe in the box there. I've got some zip screws for it. I think I've got everything needed for that. This is the through the wall transition from single to triple. And then we need that 2-foot pipe that goes through the wall, a couple locking bands, a 3-foot pipe. I might get another can of high temperature paint for the stove, and pretty much that's all we got to have. I'll get some insulation so I can put up the drywall on the ceiling there. I'm only going to worry about like 2 sheets right now, just where the stove is located. I can do the rest once I get this cleaned out. Alright, I put the 2-foot pipe out through. That lined up really good. Now I'm going to bring my support out here. I'm going to try to figure out how I'm going to hold the weight while I put the bracket up. And I think because that's lined up good, I might just bring a pencil, set the pipe up there, line it up where the bracket's going to go, mark the holes, pull the pipe back, and then just screw the bracket on. Then I'll assemble my thimble or my T on top of that, and then I can turn the pipe into that. Alright, my ladder's quite a bit off level here. It's going to be a little awkward by myself. I'm going to try to set this up there and get the T located in the right location. I'm going to put it the direction up. Try not to drop it out of the wall here. My ladder's off level. I'm standing in the flower bed here and it's sinking. I'll try to get this to lock on. And then I want to take my base, bring it up here and mark it. And if it's centered, the studs are at 16 on center here, so I just need to know the height, you know. And it looks like right away that I have to remove these 2 corner screws. And I prefer the pipe, if anything, not to be lifted up like that. I'd prefer it to sag. That way if any water gets here, it's going to tend to drip out this way versus inward. And had to come out just a little bit. That's why we needed a 2-foot length of pipe. And that goes right up in there. So I should be able to line this up, hold on to everything, set a level up here on it. I got a little torpedo level. Well, that's right on the number right now, and I dropped it. So I'll go ahead and mark where I'd like my bolt. I'll do 2 of them so I don't move it here. I could use a helper, but Dawson's got a little side job he's doing today. And he's not home, so now I can bring this down because the way I want to do it, and I should do it, this pipe has to lock into here, but I can do it afterwards. This pipe has to lock onto here, and I have to do that before. So what I can do, the struggles of life here, right, is I got to take and unhook this. Not so easy, right? There we go. Get this off in there. Slide our pipe in out of the way like that. Then I think I have room enough to lock this afterwards. I should have plenty of room to lock it afterwards. So now I want to bolt this up here, and I'm going to use some GRKs, and they're 4-inch, and they should catch right into them studs just nicely. I'm going to pre-start the hole so it'll go in a little bit easier. And these are 5/16, pretty rugged. And then hold my bracket up there. You know, I have scaffolding, I got all kinds of stuff to use. And here I am struggling with a ladder, right? So I need to take out that 1/4-inch screw. So I gotta run and get another bit. Well, this one might work. Just use the end of it. Take these 2 out. Remember, I've got silicone behind that. Okay, get my bolts handy. Get my bracket. It's a little chilly out here. It's only in the upper 40s, and what I did is I turned the T onto my base and locked it, and then I held it up here and it lined that right up, and I put my level on it, and I got this level. I went and grabbed another drill bit. I probably should be drilling these first. The top bolt is slotted, the bottom one is solid. So when I get this on, she's on. And then we'll put 2 more GRKs in this. And that's going to be some rugged 4-inch bolt. And then this one, now she's on there. And then I went inside and I turned my pipe and locked that on nice. And that looks really good. And I think I can put a locking band on that. I'm going to. Now, what I want to do is I've got my my clean out here that spins on. I got to put that on. I want to put caulking around here. It doesn't have to be high temperature. I might use some type of silicone. The rest of it is hard to reach off from this little step ladder, so I guess what I'll do is I'll put the band around the next pipe loosely. I'll stack 2 3-foot sections of pipe and the cap together, put the band on it, and put the little connection band on and lock it, and then maybe I can set it up here as a unit, and then just a short extension ladder here to reach up there to hook my bracket on. So I'll go get some more parts for that, and 1, 2, 3, possibly 4 bands. I'll get all my parts out here in a short extension ladder. Alright, I'm going to start assembling the pipes. This is a 3-foot, and here's my cap. These turn and lock, but I don't leave it like that. I don't think it's going to stay on if we get a lot of wind or a branch hits it or something. So I want to use these locking rings, and this sticks out almost a 1/4 inch farther, so I'm not sure the locking band is going to work on this one. I don't know why that band sticks out so far. Let's see if this will go on there. I probably could take it in on the grinder, grind it down a little bit, but I think if I bring the screw together here, because of that 1/4 inch, the screw won't be long enough. No, it's about a 1/2 inch short. I really like to use the locking ring because I know it's going to stay on there. We get some winters up here, you know. Make sure that's down all the way. I'm about a 1/2 inch short of fitting on there. That's a shame. The cap may not fall off, but you know, it only takes a little bit of turning. That's it. And see, this ring sticks out quite a ways. I'm not sure if I want to grind on it, you know. I probably can just leave it, you know. I cleaned somebody's chimney once. They had the cleaning kit and everything, just asked me to clean it. And he wanted me to take all the pipes apart, so I took them apart. But every one of them, he had put a zip screw in them. And I don't want to do that. That's just, you know, you're asking for water and problems. So I'm going to lay these on these pads over there. I'm going to assemble the second one. I'll take my locking rings over. I guess I'm not going to worry about the top because that ring won't go on there. I think maybe if I hunted up a longer screw, this is stainless steel, it's almost going to need a 7-inch ring for that. But I think the design of them, this is out quite a ways farther, that this won't work anyway. This ridge has to be ground down. It's a poor design. Maybe they don't want you to put a locking ring on it. So I'll take my rings over, and I'll take my clean out, and I'll take my wall hanger strap, lay them on the tarp. I'll go get another length of pipe, and we'll assemble them over there. So instead of putting them together like I was thinking, I'll go ahead and take one up at a time. I can stand on this lower roof if I have to. Using this cheesy little ladder here that Dawson was using on his shed. Shakes all over. Put my parts here. See how it nicely clears? locked in place. I'm going to put my band on. Yeah, I think they should put the screws an inch longer because they barely start. Here comes the squirrel. You won't be able to see the squirrel, will you? Hi, squirrel. What you doing down there? Yeah, I've seen people put these together without any locking bands, and I don't know. I've seen people put a screw right through it. That kind of defeats the purpose, you know. You want to keep the water out of it. Alright, this started, so just check and make sure it's on good. I'm going to keep my bracket back here out of the way. It'll look better, you know, having it screwed toward the back. Look better taking this ugly light down too, but not sure what I want to do with it. What I should do is probably put some kind of motion light up here, but run a circuit down with an outlet. Probably be handy to have an outlet on this side. But because the box is in the wall, it's kind of there. I like to have them by the corner because then it'll shine out both directions. If you're back here, you'll get a huge shadow line. So this is locked down nice. And see how high that is. 1 3-foot section, you know, of course wouldn't have been enough. And then I think the code requirement, you got to look that up, but it's so many feet the roof line is within like 12 feet. So I'm going to start off with a 3-foot section, and then I got to kind of measure and calculate it. I'll measure with a cap, so we're going to be about 4.5 to 5 feet above this point. So wherever it joins up there, it's got to be something about 12 feet range. And see if I can slide this down. See where this lines up. It should line up pretty good. I don't know that. And then at least it's not so cold my fingers are numb, you know. That's kind of... Alright, I'm talking right along and it's not recording, so I missed a little bit of it. So I'm going to head up. I think it's easier to go right on the roof here and do it. Using this trusty old ladder. I got one ring I set up there. Let's see if I can get up here. Okay. And then this pile of leaves here need a good wind gust. And now we just gotta set her on, twist her, put a lock ring. Make sure she's locked. I think I like that. Put my lock ring where it's not too ugly. Hide the screw on the back side, you know. Put them the same direction so if I set the ladder, I can reach them both at the same time. tighten this up, and then, like I said, there's like a rule to go by as far as a downdraft. Like if we had the cap down here, that'd definitely be too low, you know. I don't want wind to blow in there and we get smoke in the building. So make sure your ring's centered, locks both bands, put your screw out of the way. Tighten their and then now we got to go down and work on our strap to secure this. I did bring a tape measure up. Now I can measure the height. Obviously, you know, we're 6 feet plus the cap. But what you want to do is you want to measure horizontal. So the nearest part of the roof, and I believe it was 12 feet, but I gotta, don't believe me on that, you know. So if the flue gases are coming out up here, you see how far away 12 feet is? I think we're in good shape, way up there. And so if I happen to get any backdraft, it's easy to come up here and throw another 2 or 3 foot section on there. But I think I'm going to leave it where it is. And like I said, I wish this thing had a lock on. I'm going to turn it so the sticker is out of the way a little better. I don't see it from the driveway edge, you know. Right there. Now we got to do our clamp to band the pipe to the wall. What I like about this is that roof is about 60 feet. And then we've had snow up here this deep before. Snow drifts, you know. And then when it starts to melt, snow gets heavier, and then she'll slide. And if I had gone up through the roof, it would have gone up right through here. It would have slammed onto that pipe, you know, and you don't want to do it that way if you don't have to. So out the side wall, there's nothing in the way. Let me come down and see what we got going on here. Got to check my gutters before it starts snowing too. Make sure they're not clogged, you know. We'll take this rusty, trusty ladder down. And right there we have it, a little recap. The camera kept shutting off. It's only like 39 degrees out here, might be the reason. I finished up there with, I don't know if you can see it, but a silver caulk right there. Looks good against that. So that's waterproofed inside and out. And I had a open tube already, so I didn't buy any of that. And my learner on these type of chimneys is this clean out, you know, is easy to unscrew and fall out. So what I do is I put a little dab of caulk right there to keep it, so when I want to clean it out, I just got to cut that. And then we used 4-inch GRKs, construction bolts, they work good. Our plate is double caulked, screwed on. We've got a bracket up there. I got to get back out of here. I got my cap. I got 6 feet of pipe. The nearest roof is more than 12 feet over horizontal. I'm not sure we'll get any downdraft. If we do, I'll buy another section of pipe. I'm hoping I don't have to. Right now I can service that from the top or the bottom. And this looks pretty good. Let's go inside and take a look at it. Oh, I also forgot. I put my band on there and locked the T to the intermediate pipe or the thimble pipe. And I put a band up there to lock the two 6-inch pipes together. And let's go inside. I know it, Tiger. What do you think? Where's your brother? He's out here somewhere. Look at all the leaves. This maple tree's empty. This maple tree's almost empty. The that maple and the cherry are empty. We don't have many leaves left, guys. The ash is gone. The oak over here is just starting to change. Usually it goes red, but this year it's going from green to brown. I like it when it's red. But Halloween's coming. Scary. That old Frankenstein here. Scary. So inside, remember we had the collar piece. I put the caulk around that also, some of that silver. So our pipe comes in a little farther than I wanted it to. In that kit, it gives you this collar. Not necessary here, but you can put it on. So that would go back after I paint the wall. Cover that bracket up pretty good. And then I've got to put... oh, I started to say this is like 11 inches into the room. They want a minimum, I believe, of 2. And because I was going to use the steel roofing in here and then space it off the wall an inch or 2, whatever, a couple inches. The steel itself has a rib on it of like 7/8 of an inch. So if you want to figure that in, we're talking almost 3 inches out from the wall. So we'll end up being out here with the steel. So that'll actually look pretty good. It's going to move my stove in a little farther than I wanted to. But remember that we got our block that is about 3 inches in farther from the wall. So we can take all that into consideration. And off my line, we're not going to be too far off to bring that stove in. And right here, I painted that elbow. And this is that connector that goes the transition from single to triple wall. Flipping that up there, you see what we got? So the back of our stove, I believe that was 4 inches, is going to be somewhere about here. And so it looks like it's going to be a couple inches off my line, not too bad. And that'll be our clearance. And it looks pretty good. And I got to get the insulation in. I bought 4 rolls to start. So I got enough to do up through here. And I bought some for the wall. So I think I got enough to do this wall in fiberglass. And I've got some drywall. I've got enough to do 2 more sections of 5/8 fire coat up on the ceiling. And we'll end up, because those are 2x8s, I bought R19, which is 6 1/4. So that's going to give me at least an inch airspace over top of the insulation for venting. And out here, I'll get up on the ladder, but out here, there's a soffit vent. I don't know if you can see it. Put my hand on it here. See the soffit venting? It's aluminum soffit vent. And it's inside that carport, but that's going to ventilate and go up over this ceiling and keep, any kind of ice damming from happening. Keep it ventilated. And hopefully keep some heat in the room once I get some insulation in here. Okay, I'm going to stop this video now. It's running a little bit long. But that's our thimble install, our chimney install. We've got it in our fire code drywall. Our next step is to insulate, possibly a little bit of electrical work, and put our 5/8 fire code drywall on the ceiling. Get this taped, mudded, taped, and probably throw a coat of paint and then start our metal on there so that I can get this wood stove installed. Follow along in this short series and we'll see what happens here.